can see that on my screen.
See what?
Recording.
Oh, it tells you that?
Yeah.
All right.
All righty, Allison Marie.
Hello. Like I have a shadow on my face from these. Okay. Hello. Happy quarantine. I'm slowly going insane.
I think you're so crazy I lost all my hair.
Yeah, we did. We shaved Kyle's head.
I love it. I love it.
Sunburned up here though from being outside. Episode 8
Of the show.
of the show, 9
of
of the podcast. This is where the battle begins.
Mhm.
So we start on day 19 at the edge of extinction, and they are told it's time finally for the first return challenge. Someone's gonna get back in the game.
Which I predicted.
He did. He did think.
Well, even in the podcast, I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
predicted it. And I also predicted they were going to show him a menu. From
Yeah. I
Not
know.
Extinction.
I little thought of you, Kyle, when that happened. And
Yes. Oh, you have a picture of the menu. I think you took one.
I do have a
So the return challenge, they all were given like a scroll to tell them kind of what was going on. And on this, they were told they could now use their fire tokens to get an advantage or an idol to try to help them get back in the game. They had a scroll that each came to them. And on there, like an idol was 3 tokens, an advantage was 1 token. So they had to decide how they were going to do that. What we still don't know is if they chose the idol for 3 tokens and like didn't get back in the game, did they lose those tokens? Or was that only kind of if they got back in the game? We don't know. No one ever, they never say.
What if after the next play-in, I'm going way ahead, but what if you bought the idol and after the next play-in you don't make it in, you can bequeath that idol to somebody like fire
That'd
tokens.
be cool.
It'd be really cool, actually. Yeah.
Because technically, if you don't get in the next time, you're done.
They
You're
have to
not
go
part
through
of the
jury.
jury.
Yeah.
So if you were to leave the game like you do now, you bequeath your fire tokens.
Right. I don't know.
And now they've spent those fire tokens. Just a thought.
Yeah. And are the tokens similar now to idols where if one's used, one's put back in the game? Or do they only get them?
They're now earning them.
They earn them at the challenges, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
So
yes.
idols are 3 tokens, advantage is 1 token. The people on the edge had to choose what they were doing prior to going to the challenge.
Mhm.
So this is where it benefited having a husband or a wife in the game for Amber and Rob, because Amber gave Rob her 1 token that she had because she had a token from that awful firewood challenge.
Bless you.
Thanks. From the awful firewood challenge. They had to go up so many times. So she gave hers to Rob, which we knew too. Rob had 3 of his own.
She carried all that firewood for 1 token, and Rob just beat everybody to the top of the hill for 3.
Exactly.
Right.
So that made he had 4 tokens, so he was able to get both choose an idol and choose an advantage. Natalie,
Was it 2 for the idol and 2 for?
it was 3 tokens for an idol and 1 for an advantage.
advantage.
So Natalie, I believe, did the same things. I believe she had 4 tokens she earned by herself.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we see that little clip. Then it's still day 19, and it goes to the other 3 tribes coming like they're going for a challenge.
Yes.
And Jeff says, "Drop your buffs."
Mhm.
So there's 11 players.
That's why the buffs are ugly.
I know they're like a black purpley color.
They could have come up with a better color.
I know.
Anyway, so it
Pink
was the
is
Selly
something.
tribe, the Dakal tribe, and the Yar tribe show up, drop your buffs. They're all 1 tribe, and I have their name somewhere written down what they are now. Anyways,
And then he has
so
1 left.
but
He's
he
like,
says, huh?
I think he has 1 left in his hand, or he has something like. I thought he kind of showed him like I have 1 more left, like to make.
No, he said, you're gonna have 12 players after this challenge, meaning that all of a sudden the other people
Mhm.
came, the edge players came in. And here he talked to them a little bit, and Natalie just said, because she was the first one there,
Mhm.
and just basically said that the edge is rock bottom. Like, it's the worst place to be. That's when Tyson says you have to find humor in it to mask or wall things off, because if not, you will go crazy. And he's just said he's really struggling knowing he's on the edge and his family's at home and he's trying so hard to get back in this game.
Mhm.
But he also would love to be home with his family at the same time.
Right.
It's that internal struggle. This is when Rob says too, the edge is not romantic, even with his wife there. Like it's a hard place to be.
Mhm.
And pretty much all old school players are on the edge right now.
They were all old school.
Which I think they mentioned that when they first got
Clean
to.
white.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the challenge, they had to go through some obstacles and then to get the ball, and then the ball, they had to go up that snake track with the rope thing to get it in the top.
They had to dig. The advantage was
Oh,
dig for the bag because
Right.
the bag was full of sticks and yarn to get the key through the like object. So
If
you
they
had to, like,
used the
tie it
advantage, they
together.
didn't have to dig for the string that was
right.
down there.
That was
So
awesome.
Natalie, Tyson, Rob, Danny, and Ethan used the advantage.
Mhm.
And that was not having to
However-
dig.
And
Where the other ones still had to do that. So Amber had to do that. No, she used Parvati.
I said Parv.
Yeah, Danny used the advantage.
She did.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't benefit her.
I didn't even watch her. I didn't even know she was there. So
yeah. So immediately Tyson and Rob are out in front. Rob's the first to get his key in the one part to get through the door, and then Natalie and Tyson are kind of neck and neck right behind him. I have to say it was pretty intense.
it was. I mean,
Like it was like kind of like my heart was racing watching it, and
I want to know how close it actually was, or if it was just cut to make it look like it was.
I
really
think it was close. I truly do.
Yeah. I feel like
Because they
challenges
were
are
kind of
some
neck and neck the
challenges
whole
aren't,
time.
and they try
Yeah.
to make them look like that. But that,
Then what?
I said sometimes they try to make them look like that even when they aren't. But this one, like I feel like you could just tell, like it was crazy.
Yeah, it was really close. So it was Rob was kind of out there, and then Tyson and Natalie, and then Yule and Danny were kind of next.
She's yawning. Are we boring you?
No, I just took a nap. I took a 20-minute nap before this.
So then kind of Rob and Tyson get out in front, and then Natalie's right behind them. Everyone gets to the last step except Amber. Amber really struggled getting her sticks tied together to get that key.
Oh, so pathetic.
She really struggled with that.
She still did better than Sandra.
Ah,
$20 is $20.
Party.
So Tyson and Rob are neck and neck on the wooden snake, getting the bottle up there. From
I
how they
thought
cut
Rob
it,
was
I
gonna
truly
do it.
think they were
Really,
close.
really good.
And Tyson is able to win. Woo! He's one of my players, so I was super excited. This was a funny part. It cuts over to the tribe sitting there. They were cheering everybody on.
Yeah.
They know like it's a really struggle being on the edge and everything. And so Tony says, "I know why Sandra went home. She wasn't doing this shit." There's
It's
no
true.
way. It was a hard challenge. It
She
was
would
very-
never made it. No, I know. She would have been in the back. with it.
Sandra would probably won't get her own water.
Right. So everyone else goes back to the edge with Jeff states there's one more chance to get back in the game. When it'll happen, we don't know.
I'm guessing.
And then-
They're gonna have 7 players, and 8's gonna come back, and 8
Yes.
or
when
something
they get
like
down
that.
to 7,
7, you think they're gonna have
they're
8
going to
come
bring
back?
somebody come back.
Okay.
Remember,
And these people, these 7 people that are going back to the edge, they are the first 7 members of the jury, so they will start coming to tribals now. Because even once they compete in the last challenge to get back in, they're all still the jury anyways.
Yeah.
At this
Okay.
point.
Okay.
So the new
I just saw
tribe name, or no,
What?
this is the new.
Talking shit?
Yes, you just yawned. I just watched you, but you didn't open your mouth, but I could tell it was coming.
She's lying. I was trying to open my phone so I could read the menu.
Hold on. So day 9, still day 19. They went back to the Sele tribe. That's the one that they're going to with the good shelter and all that.
Yeah.
So they have a new menu now for fire tokens. It is more expensive. Kyle has a picture of it here.
So there's 3 There's 3 things you can choose from: strategic, food, and comfort. Strategic, steal someone's spot on a reward, 3 tokens. And this is for allows you to take the spot of any player won or was selected for reward.
They both are about reward?
No, that is what steal someone's reward is.
Oh, okay. What's
So
the
you
next
could win the reward
Ooh.
and someone could take your spot.
That's
going to
fun.
cause a lot of animosity if somebody.
That's fun.
And then 2, that's 3 fire tokens. For 2 fire tokens, you could send a personal note to any player on the edge of extinction. Complete waste of 2 fire tokens.
Right.
They probably put that on there not knowing where Rob and Amber were going to be.
Food. Small bag of beans, 4 tokens. A waste of 4 tokens.
Yeah.
Who wants
We'll
beans?
shit those out.
And then we have the
A bag of rice.
5 tokens, but I got rice. Bag of rice. Natalie's favorite.
Hold on. How's Tyson's peanut butter looking now? Those food choices were a hell of a lot better than beans and rice.
Hell no, I'm still going pizza in front of
No,
everybody.
peanut butter.
No.
Yeah, I think Tyson might still have peanut butter left.
I was
Now
thinking
he has that in the game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On to comfort. 2 pillows, 2 blankets, 4 tokens. 2 pillows, 2 blankets is basically implying you're going to have a spoon, Team Buddy. Spoon leaves the
So you,
fork in.
you each put 2 tokens
We
in.
might have, yeah, it covers up from the camera. We might have a survivor baby. Moving on. 5 tokens is a tarp, which I thought somebody was going to buy.
Oh, yeah, because it was pouring.
Well, yes, it was miserable, which then leads into the but that was miserable. Like,
Yes. Yeah. So they see the new menu, and Tony's like, "Oh my God, this is way more expensive." So there we knew they did see a menu before. We just never really were shown it for the regular. We saw it on the edge, but never for the regular
And Wendell
tribes.
said, I'm waiting for one of the rich folk to buy the
Tarp.
tarp.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then they had their merge feast, which is always nice to kind of get some energy, eat, drink, get a little drunk. There's usually beer and wine available and all that. So now it's just kind of going to different people.
And then who's what the hell's her name? She made the big play on Sandra.
Denise.
She tells the whole story about how she takes out the
I
Denise.
know, and that just
And they're like, oh,
Sure.
thank you,
foot
Target.
and mouth.
Yeah.
Insert foot and mouth.
So then they're all kind of just chatting, and Sarah's saying how the lines are very blurred right now, not knowing where everybody stands. And this is when Denise tells the story of how she is the Queen Slayer.
Yep.
So Tyson's the only like OG left
Yep.
on the beach. So he kind of feels like there might be a target on him, but he's laying low.
Yeah,
He's just kind of taking it all in, being back in the game. Which I think is a good play.
Wait, I have a question. If he was to get out, would he just go right to the jury, or would he have another chance to get back in again? If
Extinction.
He'd go back to the edge.
he
Yeah.
would have another chance then.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Wendell thinks he has Michelle and Nick on his side as his alliance because they voted out Yule, the last tribal. But he's talking to Jeremy and trying to build more relationships. Jeremy, because I think him and Wendell had met outside the game, they said at one point.
Yeah, they did.
Not that they were friends, but they met, were kind of chummy and talking.
They gotta have like Survivor like get-togethers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think of like how the Bachelor and Bachelorette, they have like those mixers where like they all get together.
Yeah.
That's what kind of I think maybe they might have. So Jeremy thinks because Wendell's very upfront about I have Michelle and I have Nick. Do you want to work together too? So Jeremy, in his mind, he's like, if I can get rid of Nick, then I'll be Wendell's number one. But I can't have it be known that I'm the one that got him out, or Wendell's gonna be mad at me. So he's already trying to think that way.
Yep.
So Ben and Tyson start talking, which I think they could be a pretty lethal
Yes.
duo. So they start talking and they're trying to work together to keep the big threats in the game. Because if not, they know if everybody else gangs up, Ben's going to get voted out. Tyson, Tony, Jeremy's going to kind of go boom, boom down the line, just keep getting all them out. So so then they go and talk to Jeremy and Tony. So they those 4 together.
And Tony's been on that since day one. The keep the big. We got to keep big.
But I think
Shields.
those 4 could be a good alliance together if they get the numbers to help them in the long run. So the new name, is it Koru?
Yes.
That's what I've written
that
down.
sounds right. Karu.
Sure.
Karu.
Koru. Thought it was Kovu for a second.
Kovu.
Kovu. Lion King too.
Ew.
You wouldn't know. So this is when it's day 21. So they always like skip a day, let everyone I think kind of talk, settle in, whatever. It is pouring rain.
It was
It's
awful.
cold. It's one of those rare like cold days in Fiji. It's pouring. Everybody is miserable.
Except for one
Kim
person.
says I could either laugh or cry.
You should cry.
There's one person that loved it.
Good.
Adam. He said this was, or no, was it Adam or Nick? Someone said it rained every day my season, so like this is nothing. Everyone's freaking out. He goes, "This is all I played." It was either Adam.
I can't remember.
About you said something about they had a typhoon. It was Nick.
Oh, was
Nick.
it?
Okay, yeah, and he was just like,
Because
"This
Nick
is
might have been
rough."
part of the season where they actually had to pull them off the island because of the storm.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember when that happened. I don't remember who
They
was there.
pulled them off the island and they took them to like a hotel or something
Yeah.
for the
Mhm.
night.
So at this point, then Tyson's just kind of talking around, asking around. He asks Wendell and Nick any plans. And I think Tyson's trying to play the innocent a little bit. I've been out of the game. What's going on?
Mhm.
And Wendell says Denise has been playing. So she, may have a target on her after voting Sandra out.
Mhm.
So I think that helps alleviate Tyson's stress a little bit, thinking, okay, eyes are on somebody else. So day 21 still, and we have the challenge. It's still pouring when they get to the challenge.
It's
Stop
miserable.
yawning. You're gonna
Oh.
make me yawn now. So they get there, and Jeff's like, all right, crappy day, whatever. And Sophie's whole body is trembling. She is so cold.
It was scary.
And she's shaking, she's crying. He asks her, like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm just so cold. You can tell she's just chilled to the bone. Her jaw was trembling, everything. I felt really bad for her. Because that's one of those things, it's like, you're so wet.
It's your fault.
You're so wet, you can't get the chill to go away. They're all their clothes are soaked.
Yeah. But we did say go in the ocean. That's probably warmer than the air in the rainwater.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Idiots.
So this challenge was that holding on to a pole suspended in the air where they have like, I don't know, 4 notches in it to put your little toes on. I want to know how you get up there.
That's what I know. And they were way up there.
Probably have like little ladders.
I would say ladders, they get up and they move them away.
I have a theory though, after obviously hindsight's 2020. But I said to Allie, I think the best way to hang on up there is not to hug the pole and be straight up and down. It's to wrap your legs around it and your arms and lean back, almost like leverage.
Oh.
Think about it. If
and
you
not
watch
go into the pole, you want to kind of go away from the pole.
Because then you're gonna your weight's gonna help hold you up
it's leverage
versus
against
being
the pole.
straight and sliding down.
You watch
And
somebody working on a
you
telephone
also
pole,
could put like a few of your fingers in that
harness.
notch a little. Like,
yeah. That's what we were talking about after.
Smart. We should build one and try it.
season
No, thank
41
you.
winner right here.
So they're going to have a male winner and a female winner. Each winner gets the immunity necklace and a fire token. So that's how we know they're earning more this time. When they win immunity, they win a token as well. So they start the challenge, and this is the order of how people started dropping off.
Oh, good, you did that. That's good.
Huh?
I'm glad you did it this
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Michelle dropped first. Adam dropped.
Time out. I thought she broke her ankle at first.
Oh yeah, she fell hard.
She
She
dropped.
fell
I'm
like sideways when she
like,
hit.
her
Jeff was like, "Do you want me to get medical?"
Yeah, like it looked
And
bad.
so-
She's like, no, bone sticking out.
But that's when Adam dropped down, and then he was like awkwardly trying to like
Help her.
do this to help her, and she like I don't think wanted his help, but like went with it. So then Sarah dropped, and that kind of shocked me.
Yes, I know.
Then Tyson drops,
And so he's still up there.
and then Wendell dropped. Tony dropped. So
Mhm.
after Tony dropped, we were down to 3 girls were left and 2 guys were left. 3
Mhm.
guys were left. 3 and 3. So then Sophie drops. So we were down to just Kim and Denise for the women Kim dropped shortly after. So Denise wins for the women, which that saved her. I think she might have went home because of the whole Sandra nonsense.
Yep.
So then we were down to Ben, Nick, and Jeremy. Ben drops. At this point, Jeremy is really high on the pole still, and Nick's like down to the last part where he can put his toes in. So Nick drops, so Jeremy wins.
Yeah.
I thought it was fitting. I thought he was kind of due to win something and kind of have a little recognition.
It was like their kind of alliance one.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah. So then we go back to camp.
Yes. Keep talking.
You just knocked both
of
house
them.
is now on fire because both torches just went down.
We got Nick getting in everybody's business.
Oh my god!
You guys,
Will you pick up the torches you just knocked?
Yeah, I know. Like it's like so awkward.
Jesus.
It was okay, Kyle. It was good. Oh, look at wait.
Oh my god!
The one's gone, and the other one.
Technical difficulties.
What are you guys talking
Oh,
about?
our freaking tank's over there on the floor. Anyways, so Jeremy, Tony, and Ben
Back me right up.
are talking of who to vote, and they're talking of voting Nick. Because remember, Jeremy wants Nick gone so he can kind of get Wendelin on their side as well. And Nick is butting into everyone's conversations, as Kyle just pointed out.
I was losing my shit.
Because the women were like talking, and he'd come up and be like,
hey. And they just kept showing clips of him coming up and like his ratty shorts, and he had like a sport coat on. What's up, guys?
Which they actually made someone mad. Someone said, he goes, all he's doing is lurking around. Like he doesn't even try to talk to anyone. He's just like literally lurking. Someone said that.
I don't remember. I
think it was Jeremy.
It
yeah,
might have been.
he was, yeah.
So Nick is going around to everybody trying to say vote out Adam.
Yes.
Because Adam's been pissing everybody off too.
I thought he was wrong.
Pissed me off.
Because then
Dude's a weasel.
Sophie wants to vote out Wendell. And so she's talking to Tony, and she thinks she already saw this, which was kind of interesting. She picked up on it that fast, that Jeremy and Wendell were BFFs.
Right.
So she's trying to break that up to not become something. So then Ben and Jeremy are talking again, and they're thinking maybe we do vote out Adam just to not rock the boat too much with the whole Nick thing and pissing Wendell off. And this is when Adam's like freaking out because nobody's talking to him.
He's a little baby. I know. He is.
Nobody was talking to him, so he's like thinking it's him. And Sophie's like, you're fine. You don't have to be involved in every conversation. You have to just go with the flow and you'll be fine. I was hoping he was going to go home. No offense. And Denise also was telling Adam to trust the process, which was funny because Jeremy might have talked to Denise.
Yes, she was voting for Adam.
He was worried she wouldn't want to vote out Adam, and she was like, whatever's got to be done. So that was interesting, but then she's telling him to trust the process. So that's why I was like, how is this vote going to go? I wasn't really sure. Yeah.
Birds of feather flock together.
So tribal. The jury is present, being able to kind of view everything now.
Which the weird part is they're present, but at some point, one of them is going to be back in the game.
It's good then because they're seeing what's going down. The same thing happened in the last season when they did this Edge of Extinction. I
remember.
Because they would go. That was in that the weatherman.
I thought they didn't do the jury until.
No, they did. The weatherman, whoever he was, he went back in the game.
Yes. Yes, I remember him.
Think of his name.
He's cute though. He was a cute little guy.
So Tyson is just talking, and he said the stakes are different this time. He does not want to go back to the edge, and so that gives him a little more motivation. And then his name was not really mentioned going, so he feels
I was
okay.
shocked that it wasn't. I was so shocked that they were just like.
I felt like in the last season when they did this, whenever somebody came back in the game, they were all gunning for that person to get him back out again.
But I think because Tribe split once into three at one time, then
everything was
together,
so shuffled.
People had some axes; they were still grinding. So when they got back together with people, there was people they wanted out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Denise says that she was fighting for her life on that poll today because I think she might have realized opening her mouth talking about the whole Sandra vote. Look at me. She's like laying down on the pillow. You can see like her eyes. Adam was quick to then say that conversations were quick, but he wants more. Like he just wants that reassurance constantly. And Nick spoke up and said, I understand where Adam's coming from because he too also has that desire to want to double check. Hey, are we still good? Mm-hmm. Hey, are we still good? Hey, is it still this person?
Changes so much. It truly, truly does. Like,
you want to do that, but you also don't want to come across as paranoid because that puts a target on your back when you come across as paranoid. Mm-hmm. That's when Sophie speaks up, I think, trying to, again, reassure Adam in a sense to say, you need to be okay not being a part of every conversation. You have to know other people are going to talk, but as long as you have people that you trust and you're in an alliance with, trust it. Try not to be overly paranoid and try to stay calm. Jeremy says he feels like there's a lot of testing of people going on, and kind of seeing how things are going because it's the first time everyone's together. So it's a lot of personalities intermingling.
But I again, right now with it being merged, this makes it more interesting. When they first went into two tribes, it was so like petty and like there was nothing going on. It was all like paranoia. But now I feel like they're actually starting to play. Like, yes.
Yeah. So Adam again states like how he's panicking and no one wanted to talk to him. And I could just like slap him at this point, like, shut up. Nobody cares.
I still can.
Tony just puts his little 2 cents in there. And Jeff is like, well, which way is this gonna what Tony said is you gotta just kind of go with the current. And you gotta go with the flow. Mm-hmm. And that's when Jeff says, well, which way is the current going? And everyone kind of laughs because like everyone's kind of thinking it's going one way, but it's going another, and it's kind of all over the place. And this vote off kind of shocked me.
I did not know anything that was happening.
I didn't see, because the 10th person that went home was Wendell. And I just didn't see that happening. And then I can't really gauge if Michelle was being truthful because she looked at Nick, and Nick, you can tell, is like pissed off.
Did you know? Because this is like the 4th vote. He thought he was involved in, and he wasn't involved in.
And so I don't know. Michelle might have known.
She might have switched with the girls. I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
But Nick was furious. So Wendell leaves. He gives one fire token to Michelle and one fire token to Nick.
Babe.
He shows up at the edge, and he's basically like, well, they didn't like what I was doing, so here I am. Mm-hmm. And so he's like the first kind of new school.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're calling Kyle.
Yeah.
Because Wendell's my guy. I wasn't entirely shocked because Wendell's name's been thrown out there for like 3 or 4 weeks. He is a solid player. He's good at challenges, which is extremely beneficial. Tyson winning the challenge to get back in was not surprising. Mm-hmm. I kind of figured it'd be him or Rob. But I would not want to be on the edge of extinction knowing that I have another challenge to go to and Wendell's going to be trying to get back in.
Right. Wendell's very athletic. And so I think all the old school people should be like, oh shit. Because
Wendell
he's
playing
gonna be
in the challenge is going to eliminate. Whose phone call is this? All right. Wendell playing is going to basically automatically eliminate half the people that are going to be in that challenge because they're not going to be able to beat him. So I wasn't entirely surprised he was voted out. However, what extremely infuriated me was Adam's Weasley look and face when he just found out that it was Wendell. And he was like, I just wanted to throat punch him. He's such a weasel. He needs to go home. Or someone needs to drown him in the ocean. I just hung up, by the way.
Okay. I can talk now and not get yelled at?
Yeah.
So the previews showed that Nick wants revenge, basically, for this. So I'm curious to see. He might have been talking to Sarah, just saying how pissed he was or whatever. So I'm curious.
Going home.
I hope
Adam is going. There's no way he makes it through another week.
I know. He's a little shithead. He's my person, but I don't like him.
So hold on. I was looking at our text message earlier to kind of see who still had people in the game and what the numbers were kind of at.
Oh yeah.
So I have both people now still present in the full game after Tyson comes back in. Callie has both people, both Sarah and Nick are still in the game.
Mhm.
You have both Tony and Adam
Mhm.
still in the game. Karen has both people on the edge.
Okay.
Amber and Ethan.
Ooh.
Kyle now has both people on the edge. Wendell and Danny. Mom has one person on the edge, one person in the game, Rob and Ben.
She's still sitting pretty because Rob could win a challenge to get back in,
And
Ben is just
Ben's-
rock solid, and
yeah.
no one's going after Ben, which they shouldn't.
Marty has one person home on the couch and one person on the edge. Rhonda has Sophie still in the game, Parvati on the edge.
Sophie's evil.
And she comes off as very like meek and mild, like very nice. Stacy has Kim still in the game and Natalie on the edge. And I wouldn't count Natalie out either.
He is a tough competitor.
I know that Wendell, I think from an athleticism standpoint, Wendell's probably the most athletic man on the island, and Natalie by far for women.
Yeah.
Mhm.
100%.
Like, and Rob, if he gets lucky with stuff, he can still do it. He's just getting older, so I don't think he's going to be as quick as stuff as Wendell. Ethan is just he's not a super strong man. I think he battled cancer a couple times. He's just a little bit weaker, but for all the women, Natalie outranks them.
Did you get any on you?
It was like a hiccup. You're the woman burping in my face the whole time, and I haven't said anything, and it's disgusting.
I haven't burped once.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
It's just the smell of the mango. I haven't
No,
burped once.
you burped. It was dinner. And then Todd has both people still in the game, Denise and Michelle.
He's sitting pretty true now. I mean, I know both women. Denise is kind of on the rocks, but I feel like Michelle's playing a really smartish game. She was following Wendell, but we'll see.
But I think she's still kind of getting her feet wet. She's
Mhm.
still mixing it up, and
Yeah.
for sure.
My prediction: Adam goes home.
Mhm.
But no, I think it's been I think it's getting better. I think the episodes are getting more exciting, and like I said,
Definitely turned up a notch.
that return challenge for the edge to come back, I was like on the edge of the chair
Yeah.
the whole time watching it. Like, oh my god, I wanted Tyson to get back in so bad, and
I
Rob
know.
not to. Any last thoughts?
Carol Baskins did it.
No, but that's on everything. I want to say we all look like we're literally on Survivor. I am like red as a freaking
I
beet
feel
right
like
now.
it. I'm very sunburned
Kyle's
today.
Two of us have been
and, like,
tanning.
your
The other
neck-
one has been working.
Yeah. My forearm, you can't tell in the picture because of the bright light, but my forearms, you can kind of see.
No, I can see it.
I'm red.
Oh my god. Anyway, well, we look like we've been on Survivor.
We do. Well,
It's the
Tomorrow
skinny
night's
part.
the night.
exactly.
What?
Minus the skinny part.
Yeah. I know.
Well, tomorrow's Survivor, so enjoy watching, and we'll be back soon with another episode.
Bye.
Bye.